What do you use for protection?
I don't use protection, to be honest with you.
You don't have.
Right, yeah, no.
Generation Z is just out of control.
I pushed one time and he came right out.
Hello and welcome to CNN's News of the Absurd. I'm Jared Bellini, and we begin this week with a little bit of potty humor. And when I say potty humor, I mean that quite literally. Don't lie, you love it.
Get set, go!
If you've ever been told to get your butt in gear, this was the place to do it. At the first ever outhouse races in Georgetown, Minnesota.
Being this is our first year, there's no rules. If they end up with a toilet and three wheels, that's fine. If they finish the race, then we'll time them.
The event consisted of 8 homemade outhouses manned by teams of 3 people. It's sort of like assisting Jabba the Hutt in a nursing home.
Well, this is the Buckskinner's outhouse. As you can see, it's well covered with furs. We use outhouses out at our rendezvous, so it was kind of like, we do this a lot.
Others, who apparently have indoor plumbing at their rendezvous, weren't as prepared.
I found out I'm not skilled at a skill saw and not skilled at a nail gun.
And then there's the Longhorns, who just lack skills.
Things just went south for me. We hit the only pothole in the town, and it didn't turn out very well.
But the Flying Buttresses, an all-ladies team, seemed to do all right, winning both the Powder Puff race and the Crowd Favorite Award.
I want to recount.
It was all a team collective effort, and just the funniness of having an outhouse race, that's really community spirit right there.
The Neighborhood Watch has been canceled. Now we go from slow-moving outhouses to something with a little bit more speed. Unfortunately, that something didn't fare much better than our toilets on wheels. This is the story of a plane crash, a rather unusual plane crash.
Flying there probably 2 or 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times a month.
Dr. Lee Taliaferro, a surgeon from Abilene, Texas, was making a routine landing with his twin-engine Cessna at a private landing strip near Possum Kingdom Lake. Possum Kingdom? Welcome to the Kingdom of Possum!
I was probably doing 60 miles an hour maybe, slowing down, and I saw a shadow out in front of the right wing and right engine.
That shadow was a deer, refusing to leave the runway.
There's that millisecond of time where you tense up, hoping maybe she'll turn away or get out of the way, and about that time I heard a thump.
Doe, a deer, a female deer. Just after impact, a 4-wheeler arrived on the scene to help. It was a father and his 2 young daughters.
One of the little girls on the 4-wheeler looked at me and said, "Well, what are you going to do about the deer?" And I said, "Honey, the deer is dead."
Guess we won't need the sugar coating.
And she said, "No, those other deer."
That's when he saw 2 more lumps further down the runway. 2 more lumps that started to move. Apparently, his plane had crashed into a mother deer who was in labor.
Here were these 2 little deer. I don't think they weighed more than about 4 or 5 pounds. All slimy.
A local woman later agreed to take in and care for the fawns, calling them Runway and Cessna. The mother deer did not receive a cute name. Finally, keeping on the subject of unusual births, we end with a story about a woman's labor that will probably take longer to tell than the full duration of the actual event.
I pushed one time and he came right out. When he said 60 seconds is what it was from when my water broke to when he was here.
Susanna Perez was enjoying just another ordinary day of pregnancy inside her Tampa apartment.
She gets out of the bathtub, walks into the living room, the water breaks. Honey, it's coming. And I'm like, no, it's not. I need to call somebody. I need help.
Yes, my wife just gave birth. She just got out of the shower and she just went into labor. The baby's out. I can't get the placenta out. Okay. The baby seems fine, but I'm just really nervous.
Strangely enough, this wasn't the first time that David Perez has delivered his own child.
I remember from my 3-year-old's birth, the doctor was getting dressed, and I actually delivered that one. I grabbed them and I pulled them out of and I did the same thing to this one.
And speaking of this one, since we don't have actual video of this amazing birth, we here at News of the Absurd have created a tasteful reenactment.
I pushed one time and he came right out.
All slimy.
Well, that's all for this edition of News of the Absurd. I'm Jared Polini.
I'm Wolf Blitzer. Every weekday, I wrap up the stories rocking the political world in our new video podcast. Go to iTunes or CNNPolitics.com and be sure to subscribe to CNN Equals Politics Daily.
Yes! Oh, where am I? This is great!